Can you say mama? Mama.
Millions of kids watch these videos every single day. They're calm, they're encouraging, and for a lot of families, they're a genuine lifesaver. A few minutes of peace while your kid learns something along the way. But what if the very thing that makes these channels so successful is actually working against one of the most important skills a child will ever learn? This isn't about parent shaming. We've all been there. This is about pulling back the curtain on a massive industry that's convinced us that engagement is the same thing as education. And when it comes to reading, that assumption is wrong. Modern parenthood is a lot. And at some point, almost every parent discovers that the internet has an answer for the chaos. There's Miss Rachel, a former teacher with a master's degree in early childhood education. There's also Jack Hartmann, whose phonics songs are played in classrooms across the country. And then there's CoComelon, whose catchy nursery rhymes have racked up over 218 billion views. For exhausted parents, these channels feel like a genuine gift. A few minutes of peace while your child learns to read. A win-win for everyone. But what if it's not? Researchers have found that just 9 minutes of fast-paced children's content was enough to measurably impair preschool's ability to focus. And focus is exactly what learning to read requires. But the problem goes deeper than screen space. It's the specific way these channels teach letters and words. And to understand that, you need to understand how the brain actually learns to read. Let's talk about something called orthographic mapping. It sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's the process your brain uses to turn a new word into one you'll recognize forever. Reading isn't about taking a photograph of a word and storing it. It's about breaking a word into its sounds and connecting those sounds to the letters on the page. To truly learn the word ship, your brain breaks it into its smallest sounds. Sh, I, and maps each one to a letter on the page. By doing that, it locks the sound, the spelling, and the meaning together in long-term memory. This is how every skilled reader learned to read. Not by memorizing a picture of a word, but by building a system in their brain that can crack any word they'll ever encounter. And that system only develops one way: direct, hands-on practice connecting sounds to letters. So let's go back to YouTube for Kids. These channels don't do this. The nursery rhymes, the sight word songs, the word of the day videos that rack up billions of views teach children to recognize words as pictures. The child isn't learning to decode. They're learning to recognize the word shape like it's a logo. This method hits a wall fast. Researchers have identified a ceiling of around 40 words for whole word memorization. When a child hits that ceiling, they don't just stall. Those strategies have to be actively unlearned before real reading can begin. They become great guessers, using pictures as a crutch, but they will struggle when the pictures disappear and words get more difficult. The YouTube business model rewards this flawed approach. A catchy song is far more engaging and rewatchable than a slow, deliberate phonics lesson. But they aren't teaching your child to decode. They're teaching your child to look for pictures to help with every word. So what's a parent to do? The answer isn't to ban all screens, but you need to understand that screen time and reading instruction are two different things. And if you want your child to actually learn reading skills, that instruction has to come from somewhere else. First, if you're going to use screen time, there's one channel worth knowing about. It's called Alpha Blocks. It's from the BBC. It's built around the science of reading. It prioritizes letter sounds and it shows children how those sounds blend together into words. It's genuinely different from everything else in this space. Second, if you watch these videos with your child, get involved. Pause, repeat words, ask questions. The American Academy of Pediatrics points out that babies and toddlers struggle to learn from screens because there's no back and forth. You can provide that, and when you do, the whole experience becomes something different. Third, there's something powerful you can do that doesn't require any materials at all. Next time you're out for a walk, point to the print around you. So street signs, shop names, billboards. Pick a simple word, break it into its sounds, and connect those sounds to the letters in front of you. That's phonics instruction, and 5 minutes of that is worth more than an hour of any of these videos. Finally, the next time you put one of those videos on, just remember what it is and what it isn't. It might be entertaining, but it is not teaching your child to read. And if you're counting on it to do that, it's worth knowing that the research says it may actually be making that job harder. The promise of a perfect educational tool that asks nothing of a parent is incredibly appealing, but the reality doesn't match. Channels like CoComelon, Jack Hartmann, and Miss Rachel operate in an ecosystem that rewards watch time above everything else. Their success is a masterclass in engagement, not necessarily in teaching the foundational skills of literacy. Real learning, the kind that builds a confident, fluent reader, looks different. It's a child actively working through sounds, connecting them to letters, getting it wrong, and trying again. It happens between people, not between a child and a screen. The good news is, this is in your hands. By getting involved during screen time and spending just a few minutes a day on real phonics, you can give your child something far more valuable than a billion-view nursery rhyme. You can give them the actual reading skills. If you want to start building the skills at home, we have tons of free resources on our website that will show you how. The letter A lesson plan gives you a complete first lesson you can do with your child today, and the short vowel sound maps make phonemic awareness practice simple and hands-on. All of it is free, all of it is built around the science of reading, and the link is below. I'll see you there.